what we learn in our level 1, I would put that into curriculum. So how to palpate muscles. Really, if we're all professionals here, if we can understand that these are just all a set of muscles that have a set of function, then we can actually look at the person as a whole. And we can get that, even a baseball player, and figure out like, okay, how is that affecting your pelvic floor, and really see someone as a whole.
From PTA to PT, powerlifting mompreneur, she turned pelvic health into purpose and built a business around helping people before they break. She's on a mission to change how we see prevention and wellness in PT. Please welcome Melanie
Llanes.
Llanes, you saw it right away. I was like, we didn't meet before. I was like, I don't know how to say this name, so I'm not going to try it. That's a life hack. If you don't know how to say it, just go. And how would you pronounce that one? Say it one more time.
Llanes.
Melanie.
So the 2 L's make the Y. Right?
Melanie Llanes. Let's hear it for Melanie. You've had some important jobs, high-stake jobs. PTA, PT, business owner, mom.
Yeah.
I went to the highest stakes last, of course, there. How did each of those roles shape the others? Like, what did you learn somewhere and then steal?
So interesting fact is, didn't get into school the first time, all of that whole spiel, but I didn't want to give up. I love rehab. So I became a PTA first, right? And it's not just to say, again, not just a PTA. I loved it, in all honesty, and I think it was one of the best careers that I started with. It shaped everything. The only reason I ended up switching is because I found my passion in pelvic floor physical therapy. Is there anyone else who's doing pelvic floor PT? Yeah. Okay, cool. So, but I was at the hospital. My director said, we don't want a PTA right now. And I was like, for pelvic floor, right? It just doesn't fit within our budget. And I was like, all right, fine. So I went back to school, right? Got my doctorate, did that, and then I became a business owner. And the reason I became a business owner is because it was a pandemic and I was a new mom. And I was bored.
Hold on a second. During a pandemic, you thought the best idea was to have a child and a new business.
Exactly. And my husband was deployed at the time.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
So,
keep going.
You know, it was one of those things that you had some time, and, you know, it's just this is what I needed to do in my life because I had a new baby. I needed to have a career that I can spend more time with my child. I did not want my life to revolve around my career. And so that's kind of how everything built upon each other. Everything, every door, every person that told me that this door was closed, I built and said, okay, let me figure out a way to open a new door so it can fit into my life better.
Good for you. And what's the name of the business? Like
Best Self Wellness, because I want everyone to feel their best self.
Man, you had that in the holster. You say that a couple times a day. That's branding, man. Just know how to do it. Who are you excited to see walk through the door? Like, who do you love working with?
God, I love a new mom.
Yeah.
I love a new mom.
Good.
I love when they are excited, they want to learn more, they realize that there is a way to prevent injury during birth, because obviously birth can create injury. They want to learn.
I've seen the videos. Yeah.
Yes, and
Google
they've seen videos, right? Everyone's so scared that they're going to tear up their pelvic floor, that everything's going to be over. But why don't we get moms before that ever happens? Why do we wait till after birth to see them? And so I love working with birth prep. We do exercises, how to open up the pelvic floor, how to open up their body and help prevent grade 3 and 4 tears.
Let's be honest. If men gave birth, that would already be.
It would never happen.
Yeah,
it would never happen.
It would be forever.
Everyone would have a C-section probably.
What's the biggest misconception students have about starting their own clinic? Like, what's maybe? I mean, you've sat here. You were a PTA student. You were a PT student. What were maybe the misconceptions that you had?
That you had to have a business background, right? They think that you have to do all these courses. They think that you have to have some sort of economics degree or some sort of background with that. But really, it was a lot of AI, ChatGPT, a lot of Google, right? And a lot of passion. And just don't be scared to meet other people who are doing it, and just get yourself out there.
You mentioned prevention before birth, or maybe just for life, right? Yeah. Why is prevention still such a hard sell in our profession? And how we fix it, or how are you fixing it?
Yeah, so prevention, the biggest reason is because of our entire healthcare policy. We are in a sick care policy. Prevention's not what we learn in school. We are learning our PT diagnosis. What is their PT diagnosis? They're already in a dysfunction at that point. They're already in a functional limitation when you have that PT diagnosis. That's why I can't take insurance, unfortunately. I'm in a cash-based system. I promote myself with the intent of advertising prevention, and I do this for my moms, but you can transfer this to your high-level athlete, right? Why do we wait for them to have the ACL tear to come to you? Women obviously have the highest risk of an ACL tear. Why aren't we being the first ones on the docket to prevent that ACL tear from ever happening?
I like to talk about moments that got adrenaline into your system. What's a moment in your business that nearly made you quit, and how'd you get past that?
Oh man, that's a good one.
Thanks.
To be honest, it was hiring my first employee.
Oh, why? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a math guy, but going from 1 to 2 is probably the biggest jump you'll ever make, right?
As a business owner, and I'm sure the other business owners understand, right? You, like Ben said, you have to pay their paycheck.
Yeah.
Right?
They're looking at you.
They're looking at you. You have the highest responsibility. So now I have a PT, my first PT. She's driving from South Orange. She's coming into Jersey City. Jersey City, as we all know, is high traffic, right? So she can't be coming in for one person. So now I'm out there hustling. I'm there making sure I'm hitting up my old leads. I'm there networking. That was my biggest fear of like, what am I doing right now? I don't think I can do this.
Yeah. But how long did it take for you to get past that?
It took a month. Now I'm at my third PT.
A month? Oh, you're fine. Well, how hard could it be?
Listen, the fear is there, right?
Does it go away?
No, never.
Does it just change to you're worried or putting your attention towards something else?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I heard this phrase once that there will always be a leading cause of death. So there's always going to be a biggest worry. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, all right.
But that's the biggest thing, right? If a successful business owner takes that worry and figures out the solution.
Yeah.
They don't just drown in that, and they don't just go, oh God, and let me just give up.
Yeah, my dad was a New York City fireman, and like anybody with like firemen or cops is like parents. Yeah, so they're like quizzing you your whole life. Like, what happened? We go off the road right now and into this lake, and the car is submerged, and I'm passed out. And what do you do? And you're like, I'm 9. I don't know. But the message was, my dad's like hammered on message was, what's the worst thing to do in a panic situation?
Panic.
What's the second worst thing to do in a panic situation? Nothing. So make sure, okay, you're allowed to freak out. Natural reaction. Take a breath, right? We're not being hunted by, saber-toothed tigers. We have food, shelter, and clothing for now. Great, take a beat. And this is great advice from one of my former employees. What is the next best thing? I don't have to do 49 steps. What is the next best thing that I need to be doing right now? Do that. Yeah. Then worry about the next one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Figure out what is the most important step to solve that solution.
Yeah.
Do that. Then think of the next one.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's the thing you're going to run into. This sounds great. Crochet that on a pillow. Here's the funny thing. The results you're looking for are hiding in the work you're avoiding. You have a list of 10 things and you can do whatever you want. Have you ever heard the phrase eat the frog? Wake up in the morning and do the thing that is the biggest pain in the ass on your list. Otherwise, you will kick the can down the road. That is probably most likely the biggest friction point. It sucks. Do it before 7 a.m. when your brain's half on. How bad could it be? Get it done. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. I feel like I'm just dropping business quotes now. I'm like looking right at this girl, I'm like, write this down. Like, if you could redesign PT education for pelvic health, what would you add? What needs to be in there?
I think the biggest part that we have to understand is pelvic health is not a whole separate thing. I think it's just advanced ortho.
Well, I heard this as a student. I'm re-quoting someone. It's orthopedics in a warm, dark place.
Exactly.
Put that in a pillow.
And I think that's what we have to figure out, right? Like it's not this like yes, there's sensitive areas to it.
Did I just make you blush? All right. Yeah. Nice.
But no, I just really wanted to say the word vagina and
there
penis
you
right
go.
now, but then I wasn't sure how cool for the podcast that'd be.
It's fine.
But really, in all honesty, a good pelvic floor physical therapist is not just looking at the pelvic floor, right? A good ortho therapist is not just looking at the knee if the knee is the issue. And that's what we have to look at and think of with pelvic floor. And any person here can be a pelvic floor physical therapist if you're just thinking about the person as a whole body, right? I can stop someone's leakage if we can help their glutes get stronger, if we can help hip mobility, and we can fix their breathing, right?
Yeah. It's funny, whenever I'm running pelvic PT, I always stand like really tall because I'm like, they're checking out like my glutes and my hips and whatnot. So I'm like, I'm going to make sure I look pretty okay.
Hope you're not kegeling right now.
So, but hold on a second. But what would you read it? What would you put into the curriculum or take out?
Oh, what would I put into the curriculum? Oh, that's a good question.
Because right now, like there's ortho, neuro. I mean, I know all schools are different. You got to check a certain number of boxes to get accredited. But like most of the time, there's not just a straight up pelvic course.
Yeah, that's true. I think, in all honesty, I would put in what we learn in our level 1, I would put that into curriculum. So how to palpate muscles. Obviously, yes, I understand you're palpating someone's penis, you're palpating someone's vagina, but really, if we're all professionals here, if we can understand that these are just all a set of muscles that have a set of function, then we can actually look at the person as a whole. And we can get that, even a baseball player, and figure out, like, okay, how is that affecting your pelvic floor, and really see someone as a whole.
All right, parting shot. You've heard several guests go. You've got it holstered. What do you got?
Your life should not adapt to your career. Your career should adapt to your life.
Love that. Let's hear it for Melanie.
Thank you.